I'm going to do this entire episode without the Wikipedia page for cats.
Oh, I've got it up. I've also got some song lyrics up because I think we need to talk about some things.
We are... Okay. We have to not spend as much dedicated time on Rum Tum Tugger this go around.
That's true. We spent a whole lot of time on Rum Tum Tugger.
We spent a lot of time. The name is very sexual.
Rum Tum Tugger and Rumple Teaser are the two most sexual words I've ever heard in my life.
We are recording now.
Rumple Teaser.
Yeah, Rumple Teaser is definitely when you like tickle somebody's butt with a feather.
Oh my god.
Hey,
I'm
everybody.
pretty sure that's from our episode.
Is it?
Like, I think we said that because that's low hanging. That's not hard to get to.
That's Jason Derulo's character. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Rebootleggers. You're joining us in the middle of something. I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Serra.
And I'm Bustafa Jones.
Yeah, we're doing... so this is a comedy podcast most of the time where we do reboots of things that shouldn't need rebooted. And this is going to be our first ever reboot. We've already done Cats, but we're going to do Cats again because I had to see Cats, the new one, last night. And, or maybe
you
I
had
chose
to, or you got to?
Well, you know, that's kind of the debate since the movie came out last year. Who chooses to see it and who is forced to? But so last time, Frank, we made a movie that I think combined Cats with Battleship. And the Cats.
How did that work out?
It actually worked out kind of great.
Combined Cats with Battleship.
Well, I couldn't remember if it was actually Battleship or it's just like...
Well, the Battleship movie.
Yeah. But I couldn't remember if we actually did that or if we just talked about it. Because so in our original,
I think it was more of a space adventure that had less to do with.
Yeah, because in our reboot, it became about cats and water is sentient, and all the water left. And the cats had to go get it back, or they were trying to fight it because cats hate water.
They were fighting the water.
And then for some reason, and we made Bustafer Jones our main character because we knew nothing about cats or the characters, and it's just the most regular. It's probably the best cat name in the whole production. Like that's a name you could actually name a cat.
I
like
don't know about that.
It's pretty funny. And Bustafer.
Oh, wait, you're going by closest to what a real person would name their cat.
Yeah. Like I'm going based on like if
one of them was named Mittens, that would be the winner.
Yeah, but I think it'd be better than Mittens because I think Bustafer Jones is it's very funny to me.
But my question is like, because there's that whole first song about like, hey, every cat has 3 names.
That's what I was gonna bring that up. Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
So is
me
like
me and everyone else who's listening has not seen Cats, so you're gonna need to walk us through some of these.
But here's the thing.
Okay, so there is a song where they're like, hey, every cat has 3 names. Your first name is, I don't know. Your second name is, I don't know either. But your third name is whatever we call you, Rum Tum Tugger.
No, that's actually, so I'm looking at the lyrics because I had to confirm this because I thought maybe I just didn't hear the song right. But so the first name is the one that humans give you, your slave name, if you will.
Your slave name.
Okay, that's your Mittens.
That's your Mittens, or according to the
song.
That's your Mittens,
that's your Snowball.
Except according to the song, it's Peter, Augustus, Alonzo, or James, or Victor, or Jonathan, George, or Bill Bailey. Bill Bailey's a pretty good name for a cat.
That Bill Bailey seems like an orange tabby.
Yeah. But so then the second name
Alonzo's pretty good.
They say they're names that are more peculiar and more dignified, like Monkus Trap or Bomba Lorena.
Monkus
Trap, who is never explicitly named in the movie or the musical, I don't think, but he's the one who's like in charge, but who's not Judi Dench. Like he's the one who's introducing all the other cats all the time. His name is Monkus Trap. Yeah, it's a horrible name.
He was the creepiest one.
He's a real weird one. And then they say you have a third name, but they don't ever tell you what the third name is. It's just cats have a third name.
I bet you that's the only problem with the entire thing.
And so it's weird too. So
what if it's like the fun nicknames that they give each other? Like they called Judi Dench Old Dude.
Well, that's just Old Deuteronomy made shorter.
I know, it's a nickname.
It's just the most anticlimactic third name. And then the third name is just what we call you because it's easier.
Yeah.
in the movie, they make a big... So we're following Victoria the white cat, who I think is just some random throwaway cat in the original one. And then in the new one...
That's harsh.
They ask her her name.
she still has her slave name. She still has her slave name, Victoria.
That's not, and I'm pretty sure that's not a thing in the original one. Because in this one, they ask her, "What's your name?" And she says Victoria, and they're like, "No. What's your name?" And she's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And then they never like give her a new one. They just make a really big deal about how that can't be her real name, but then they never fix it. So
maybe she has to discover it on her own.
But then she doesn't do that either. Is the thing.
It's been a day. Hold on. Here's the thing. The movie Cats takes place in an evening.
That's true. It's in one evening.
She's not going to come up with her own new name in an evening.
That's true. So, Frank, I don't even think we ever talked about the original plot in our original one, but basically this movie is about, or this show, whatever you want to call it, it's about which cat gets to go to heaven. And they're all basically putting on a talent show.
Now, I've read some differing interpretations. Is it heaven? Is it just like the next world?
They call it the Heaviside Layer. And
which in science is a real thing.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Now you said that word. You said this word science.
Uh-huh.
She's right. Oh my gosh. It's also called the Kennelly Heaviside Layer. So it's Heaviside is somebody's last name. It's a layer of ionized gas occurring between roughly 90 and 150 kilometers above the ground in the ionosphere. So
they're just sending a cat into orbit,
into low orbit. Yeah, this isn't even.
You're off to live a better life.
Just hanging out in a balloon up there, like you're not even doing anything cool.
Now, a balloon wasn't part of the song, so
they do send the cat who wins off in a balloon at the end.
It's a balloon. Okay, so it's just like a nice vacation.
I guess, except she's stuck in a balloon.
It's more of like a ritual sacrifice.
It's kind of what it seems like, yeah.
Balloons, though, they come back down to the ground.
Not this one. This one, actually, she goes into the clouds and fades away. But so,
it's gotta
like
land
Grease?
somewhere.
Like the end of Grease?
Yeah, that's what the Heaviside Layer is. It's
where
just wherever they go at the end of Grease.
They did. So there's this, they call it the Jellicle Ball. Oh, also these cats all call themselves the Jellicle Cats, which I guess is like their gang name.
Why not?
And they do.
Or, yeah, I was like, I don't know. Does that mean they're like Christian or something?
They do 2 different songs about what it means to be a Jellicle Cat. And each of those songs is just, these are things that cats do. So they never really explain what makes a Jellicle Cat special from a regular cat.
It's probably the singing and like the speaking English.
No,
and the wearing of shoes and having people hands.
Because like a Jellicle cat,
butthole.
Here's the thing: a Jellicle cat is black and white and very small, but also Jellicle cats are black and white and of moderate size. So like,
but there are so many cats in this movie that aren't black and white.
Right, that's the thing. Jellicle cats are black and white and not too big, but also
okay. So hold on, are you telling me Jellicles are equivalent to Nazis?
Wow.
No, because there are some black and white cats. Here's the thing. So,
but they're not letting other types in.
But they do is the thing. It makes that's the whole like this. The whole opening song is like, what makes a Jellicle cat, and it's like, are you born blind? Do you? Can you see in the dark? Can you look at a king? I guess only Jellicle cats can look at kings. At one point they ask, can you say that your bite is worse than your bark? And it's like, I think that's a trick question. They're like trying to catch any dogs.
Sure.
There is a scene in this movie where a dog almost catches the cats, but you only hear the dog and see a door getting forced upon from the other side. And I was very disappointed that we did not see a weird CGI man dog in this movie of CGI man cats. But so
also Frank, at the very end of the movie, Judi Dench gives you a lecture where she looks at you dead in the eye and says, "Hey, heads up, just remember,
nice.
Treat your cats nice, and hey, don't ever compare cats to dogs, or I will find you."
They have this huge like finale musical number that you would normally end a musical on, and then there's another like 3 minutes afterwards where they slow it way down. Judi Dench looks right into the camera and gives you a lecture on how great cats are, how you need to treat them nice, and how you should never compare them to dogs, and then they end it. It's very weird. And
the main cat still doesn't really have a home to go to.
They do know, she does look her in the face and say, "You are a Jellicle cat," and so
that doesn't mean anything. Where's she gonna go?
Yeah, right. It's like a Jellicle hotel.
Well, so that's
I
Frank,
didn't see one.
Frank, you bring up a really good point, because here's the thing: they live on this street that it's proportioned for humans, and also the movie opens with a human lady throwing Victoria the white cat in a pillowcase out onto the street.
Right.
This is a
people world. Why are all of the businesses cat puns?
All the businesses are cat puns. They have a milk bar. They have and the milk bar clearly serves cats because it's all like served in dishes, which is, you shouldn't give your cats milk because cats are lactose intolerant. Just that's a thing science knows, and we shouldn't be doing that anymore. Makes no sense.
Okay. Now, the pillowcase.
Yeah.
You're really fixated on this pillowcase.
Well, it's because the cruelty aside, like, a cat can go outside. You can just put the cat outside and then, like,
well, no, she drives
not
her.
open the door again.
She drives her to this street. So it's just you only ever see this woman from the hands and waist down, and she's an old lady based on how her hands look, and I'm pretty sure she's entirely CG for some reason. Also,
really?
She looked weird, but also the rest of this movie looked weird. It is so weird how bad the CG was for 2019. Like their faces like float weird on their heads.
Now, did you see the butthole or no butthole cut?
I did not see the butthole cut, unfortunately.
Not a one. No. Devastating.
And here's the thing: I own 2 cats, and I've seen like 30 buttholes. So it's weird.
Your 2 cats have 30 buttholes.
That's what it feels like. I have more than 2 cats because of how often they show me their buttholes. So it just feels like this movie was doing a disservice to real cats. But so back, just trying to finish this weird plot summary. They're having what's called the Jellicle Ball, which is basically a talent show where different cats show why they are worthy to have a new life in the Heaviside Layer, where.
And for some reason, they have elected Dame Judi Dench as. Oh, you hear that?
Hey, there's some cats.
But for some reason, Dame Judi Dench is the one who gets.
She's
to
the
pick
decider.
The bestest cat.
Yeah, she gets to choose which cat deserves a new life.
They all go and audition for the role of the bestest cat go up to the gas layer in the sky.
Right, and only some of the cats are auditioning. I thought it was all the cats, but only some of them. So you've got Jenny Annie Dots, who is Rebel Wilson. She wants a new life because she hates living in this human kitchen. She lives in a human kitchen and eats cockroaches, but she seems to love it, but she says she hates it.
She eats cockroaches that are strangely people-like, and they have people faces?
That's true. The cockroaches are people bugs, and she trains them to dance and stuff, and then she eats them. She also trains mice to dance and eats them.
And she also zippers off a skin suit.
Yeah. And
are we already in the first segment? Has that happened?
No, this is the movie. This is the actual movie. And she also... They make the mice children as well as just tiny. And we'll get more to this later, but the proportions of the cats make no sense. They're constantly changing size, it seems. But we'll get to that because I have some ideas for that. So then there's her. There's there's a pair of twins named Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser. And they are like little prankster thief cats. I don't know why they think they need a better life. Oh no, they're not even auditioning. They just suck.
Yeah, they just suck.
Then you've
Jason
got
Derulo,
Rum Tum Tugger, and he sucks.
And Busterford Jones is a bourgeois. He's a bourgeois cat.
Yeah, he sucks because he just eats out of trash cans all the time. But he's like, I deserve to live somewhere else. And then you've got Ian McKellen, who used to be an actor cat. I think this is the thing. They have a human theater, but they apparently had a lot of cat performers there. So he's like an old washed up actor who wants a new life. And then you've got Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat, who has the only good song in the whole thing.
Skimbleshanks.
Yeah, I don't think he deserves a new life, though, because if he left, then that would make...
He's already got like a pretty sick life.
He's killing it. He's the only cat who wears pants, Frank, so he's already doing pretty good for himself. And then you've got McCavity, played by Idris Elba, and he's the evil cat. And here's where
he's committed every human crime.
This is a line from his song, Frank, is that he has broken every human law. So we're talking,
including insurance fraud.
He's committed
no cat laws.
Grand Theft Auto. This guy's done it all. So keep him in mind. And here's the other fun
That's
thing.
not even like that, like high treason in every country.
Right. Here's the other thing that happens, Frank. Here's the thing that you should know about him, that his song doesn't mention at all, but the motherfucker can teleport. Like literally fucking Nightcrawler turn to smoke and take other cats with
I feel
him.
like you got to at least have that much to commit every human crime.
That's true.
But like here, I have a theory about this. I have a whole theory about like this movie's plot.
I'm excited.
I'll save it.
Let's save it for. I just want to. So Frank, his whole thing is he also wants a better life, but his strategy is if I just kidnap all the other cats who are trying out and I put them on a barge on the River Thames, then they can't be there for the choosening, and then she'll have to choose me.
The choosening.
But then what ends up happening is it turns out there's this other cat named Grisabella who all the other cats hate for some reason. I don't know what her original poem is because it wasn't actually published. According to Wikipedia, Andrew Lloyd Webber read this unpublished poem when T.S. Eliot's widow showed it to him, and then this poem is what made him decide to turn it into a full-blown musical. It did not get included in the poems because apparently it's too sad, but basically it's a cat who all the other cats hate. In the movie, it's because previously she left and went and hung out with McCavity, the evil cat, for a while. She used to be a theater cat also and left, and now they all hate her. But she's
They never, ever, ever, ever tell you any of this.
They don't. And so she's miserable, and then Victoria, the white cat, convinces her to come sing in front of old Deuteronomy, and then Judi Dench is like, okay, you get to go up to the gas layer in the sky. Idris Elba does McCavity. He does kidnap Judi Dench when she tells him, when he's like, look, I kidnapped all the other cats. I'm the only one here, so you got to choose me. And she says no. So then he kidnaps her. So then they bring in Mr. Mistopheles, the magical cat, who also has magic powers, but he's not good at them yet. And in the course of his song, he gets good at them, and he magics her back. So there's a whole lot of cat magic in this movie, but they really bury it under a lot of bullshit. The other thing you need to know, Frank, is none of these cats really look naked until Idris Elba decides to take off his coat. And then suddenly it looks like he's very naked, and it's very unsettling. And that's just for you to think about later.
I'll choose not to.
No, you'll think that, but then it'll happen. So that's the plot of Cats. There's not much of one. And those are the cats that we're going to be talking about. So let's get into our first segment called Love It or Leave It.
Love me or leave me or let me be lonely.
Where we talk about what we're keeping and what we're getting rid of. And I'm just going to say right off the bat, we're keeping cat magic, and I'm going to say we need more cat magic.
Yeah, okay, so here's my theory about the cat magic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that cats and like jellicles are like, it's a cult, right?
Seems
and
culty.
Very culty, and only some cats have the special use of magic, but McCavity has tapped into the dark magic, right? And that's why he's able to teleport. That's why he's able to do all the cool shit that he does.
But Mr.
But the
Mistopheles can kind of teleport.
Well, so
Do the cats think that crime is cool?
No, I don't think they, because they don't like McCavity. They don't like him, and he's broken every human law. So they don't like crimes. Except some of them do, because Rumpelteazer and Mungo Jerry steal a lot of things.
And they were, well, maybe stealing is only that's what, is stealing just a human crime or also a cat crime?
It seems like it's also a cat crime because Victoria, not on purpose, but kind of on purpose, helps them steal a bunch of stuff during their songs. And this is where you start to get a sense of how odd the proportions of the cats are, because they take like a human ring and they put it entirely around her wrist as if it's a bracelet, even though that's not how small cats are. But then they also have a watch that fits perfectly around her neck like a necklace. So like none of these humans are very weirdly shaped, is what I think is what happened. Maybe it's like a post-apocalypse and they're all weird mutant people. You don't see any of them.
Well, but a normal human is keeping a cat as a pet in the beginning of the film.
That's true. But so you get the sense that they don't approve of the stealing because she shows up and she still has one of the rings, and Munkus Trap looks at her like, hey, what the fuck? And then Mr. Mistopheles is like, oh, that's mine. It's from one of my failed tricks. And then he puts it in his hat. That is a TARDIS, his hat. It's a Mary Poppins bag.
So, like, I feel like all the cats who, like, hang out with McCavity and, those cats all do, like, dark magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when McCavity kidnaps Dame Judi Dench and puts her on the barge, and they're like, Mr. Mistopheles, you gotta tap into the dark magic. You gotta learn the dark magic to bring her back. And so that the whole
So he's
Mr.
set off down
Mistopheles
a
is
dark road.
yeah, his whole song is like learning to accept the darkness. And then when he finally does bring her back, everyone is like, dark magic works, and like they are all convinced like to go down the dark magic path.
But so then why don't they? But they still hate McCavity after that.
Well, yeah, because he kidnapped their girl.
He kidnapped their girl, right? The other weird thing, Frank, is that some of the cats wear fur coats as if that's like presumably.
I mean, it's probably not cat fur.
It might be. See, that's the thing. At first, I was like upset about it, but then if you think about it, like of all the animals, the one that totally would wear like the skin of its brethren just around like a thing to do.
But fur coats aren't made of cat. I need you to confirm that in real life you're aware of this fact.
Well, I bet there's at least one. But also, I guess that's. But these. I mean, I feel like they're supposed to be to make them look like fluffy cats.
Like would a cat wear mink? Absolutely.
For sure.
Oh yeah, they live that life of luxury.
Well, I mean, what do you think? So McCavity's done every human crime. You think he's rich?
That's the thing. He doesn't.
He can
seem
definitely
to be that
afford
rich.
fur coats.
And he
He's
wants
a
better life.
Bezos.
He could be, but he doesn't seem like he's doing all that well. Like his clothes are pretty tattered, and then he takes them off for some reason, and you're like, oh no. Oh no, Idris.
This that's like that works on you, huh?
It's really,
You're really
upsetting
worried about that.
It's like how
Hey.
Frank. It's like how the original Sonic the Hedgehog movie design. What you said to me was, "Never before have I thought Sonic was naked, but now I do." That's how it felt. You're just like, I didn't think any of
because-
these cats were naked until Idris Elba took his coat off, and now it's like,
And
oh,
you're like,
they're all
that's
naked.
that's a naked boy.
It's very weird. Two of the cats do wear only shoes, and they do look more naked than the rest of them.
They are the hip hop cats, though.
Yeah, they're there for about
What?
30 seconds.
What kind of shoes are they wearing?
They're like beat up old.
like
Are they?
Jordans.
They're not Pumas?
No, they should have been Pumas. They're like the beat up all white Chuck Taylors. They look bad.
I just wanted to make my joke. I don't really care what the answer is.
While we're talking about things to keep and get rid of, I really want to get rid of the dancer movements, the cat dancer movements
Yeah.
that every single performer does.
Right.
Like, I get it, they're cats, but it was awkward to watch.
Yes, I feel like the people who made this production, none of them have seen a cat is the thing. And they think that they're like, the director was like all hips. If you're a cat, you're just all hips when you move around.
And shoulders.
Hips and shoulders. Don't ever let your hands like touch each other or your body. Just be weird about it, is what they said.
One thing that I do also really want to keep is old actors trying cat stuff.
Yes.
So
that was
like
actually
Ian McKellen,
great.
it is like someone on set had a bet with some other people on set who were like, who can make Ian McKellen act the weirdest? And so one person was like, no, here, I'll put it in the script, you'll see. And so Ian McKellen just walks around going, quote verbatim, meow, 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 meow.
Yeah. He does.
I mean, the man did Broadway. Like he can bring it.
It was funny
then
too.
some other-
So his
so then-
song, it felt like it was just Ian McKellen talking about his career, because the whole song is about how like, yeah, movies today are great and stuff with like all the new things that they have in them, but like when I did it, it was like acting. And I was like, oh, this is just you being upset about The Hobbit, isn't it, buddy?
The man
So-
won
so-
6 Laurence Olivier awards.
So
He's
the
got a
scriptwriter
right.
was like, I'm going to make him go meow, 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 meow. And he does. And then a prop designer is like, hold up. I'm going to make him drink milk right out of a bowl.
Oh, it's
And-
so weird. I
And
forgot
he
about
does. And it's not even on the ground. It's Ian McKellen level. So he's leaning over a shelf and drinking some milk right out of a bowl.
Just slurping it with his tongue, Frank.
And then a set designer was like, nah. And he sets up a post just in the room, and Ian McKellen rubs all
He does
over
the
it
cat
like
rub
a cat.
along it. Yeah. And because they're cats, even though they walk around on 2 legs and they have human hands and feet, none of them like hug each other, when instead they would hug each other. They do that awkward thing where they just like nuzzle heads and necks. The thing that like
like cats do.
You know that thing that the really weird kids who were dating in high school would do when you like the really weird theater kids? We all knew 2 of these kids. Like they're just real weird kids. That's what all of these cats are. And then you've got Judi Dench doing it too.
Judi Dench, my most favorite moment in this goddamn movie is after Ian McKellen's song, Dame Judi Dench, lounging in a person-sized cat bed, is so enthralled by Ian McKellen's song that she just sticks one leg straight up in the air in approval.
Like cats do. You know, Frank, like cats do?
Like cats do.
And then, so I'm curious, Frank, based on all of this, you are the one who has managed to remain pure, has not seen this movie.
It's honestly not hard at all.
Well, you say that.
I don't know. In the time of self-isolation, what else are you doing, man?
It's pretty much free to not click on cats.
Yeah, but hey, man. I was like that. I was like that once too. And then suddenly I was watching cats.
Frank, I've seen it twice.
What?
That's the thing.
Why?
She saw it once and then she saw it again. Like it.
I saw it once. I saw it the same day I saw Rise of Skywalker because both press screenings were the same day. And I tell you what, that was a taxing day.
Who would have thought Cats would have been the better movie of those two?
Oh, it was taxing.
Zoom.
Bazinga.
But Frank, is there anything just in your heart of hearts that you feel needs to be kept or removed?
Buttholes.
You want to add buttholes?
Add buttholes.
At least that butthole cut.
Now.
And here's the thing. I'm glad you already brought up realism. What is? Because cats, they put their fannies in your face a lot.
Oh, so much.
All the time.
So, what? You're telling me not once in this movie?
Is there just a zoomed shot of a cat's ass going past the camera?
Yeah.
Not once.
You're telling me not
even once.
Not once.
It's super. You'd think that would have happened too, because like this may be the horniest movie I've ever seen.
Oh my god, it's so horny.
It's like
so we're putting back in buttholes. And we're just gonna let them do it, cats.
When you say put back in buttholes, do you mean that? Do you think that they put them in originally and then removed them?
Reinstall the buttholes.
That's the story I read.
They had to have, because if you think about it, all of the actors and dancers are wearing like Zentai suits, right? And those don't have buttholes.
Oh, they definitely smoothed out their bits for sure.
Could you imagine being that? Oh my god! Could you imagine being that graphic designer or computer?
What if it's the unsmooth cut
who had to go in and place buttholes? This person had to go in and place buttholes, and then the director was like, "Ugh, you know what? Never mind. Take those out." And he had to go and undo all of his butthole work.
He's like, "I worked so hard on these buttholes, sir." I'm
imagining a big switch, and it's flicked to the on position, and it's a large lever, and
like
it says
toggle. It's like a Frankenstein.
And then the bottom, the one, it says smooth, and then like an executive just goes over and goes like, ka-chung!
So you're imagining like a Frankenstein's lab toggle switch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And one,
he goes ka-chung! And then it goes down to smooth, and like 3 animators just start screaming.
And what's the opposite? What's on the other end of smooth?
It's buttholes.
Smooth and buttholes are the two. Those are the 2 movie genders.
The 2 options are buttholes and
yes,
smooth.
the 2 genders.
Smooth and buttholes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're keeping more cat magic. We're making it culty, even more culty. Do we care? Should we leave the heaviside layer? Should we make it more science-y?
Do we just admit that they're sending them on a vacation?
Maybe.
Like, these aren't high stakes.
Well, in the movie,
they do this every night, right?
No, they don't do it every
once
night. It's just it's once a year. Okay. I'm
pretty sure.
I don't remember. It very well could be. Let's see if I can find.
Yeah, an annual ceremony.
So, also some of the cats, Frank, there's a subsection of Jellicle cats, and they're called Gumby cats.
What?
Mm-hmm. And do they stretch and go woogity woogity like
You'd think so, but it turns out there's just the one, and it's Rebel Wilson. And here's the thing: according to the lyrics, she sits and sits and sits and sits, and that's what makes a Gumby cat.
Okay.
So Gumby cats are the ones
that
who
tracks.
sit.
So we're all Gumby cats.
Okay.
Yeah. When the hustle and bustle is done, the Gumby cat's work is hardly but begun. When all the family's in bed and asleep, she tucks up her skirts to the basement to creep. She's deeply concerned with the ways of mice. And she teaches them music, crocheting, and tatting. I don't know what tatting is. She teaches them how to ink.
I believe it's tattoo
They
artistry.
got that sick ink. She likes to play with curtain cords. So it seems like a Gumby cat is just like a regular cat, but also so are Jellicle cats, so it makes no sense. Let's get into our next segment called When and Where. And this is where we talk about setting and genre. So we mentioned that they live on this human street, and everything is proportioned presumably for humans, and there is at least one human in this. But the street is completely deserted, maybe because it's just like middle of the night.
It's night. It's nighttime.
But also, like we mentioned, all the things are like cat puns. So you've got like a milk bar, and I'm gonna try. Cat's Street. I'm trying to think of what other.
There was a champagne advertisement that was like a cat pun.
Yeah, it's just like all cat puns, even though these are presumably human business establishments. So,
Well, are we sure? Like, is it like Danny the Street? Like, is it like you go into a cat neighborhood and there's like a cat street?
I mean, I feel like that would
Are
make
cats
sense.
working at the establishments?
But no, and everything is
They're all
huge to them.
closed.
They're all human proportioned things. The cats can get into them because they're cats, but they're all
right, cats can get in pretty much
closed.
anywhere.
Except then sometimes a cat is as big as a milk jug, but the milk bottle is also the same size as the tire of the milk car. So like none of the sizes of these cats make sense. It's very weird.
Well,
At one point, a cat is holding what's supposed to be yarn, and they can't get their whole hands around one string of yarn. So they're either very, very small or very large, these cats. And I don't know if maybe we just make that part of the cat magic is they're just shape-shifting all the time.
Maybe that's part of the dark magic.
Maybe that's the dark magic, but then they're all doing it without even knowing it. But so the setting, it feels like a post-human world, or like a world where humans.
well, you keep saying the beginning of the movie is a human saying, "I don't want this
there
cat."
are still humans
Like-
in it, but it seems like humans are no longer the dominant ones, except based on some of
Well,
the songs.
a woman was
they
keeping
are.
a cat as a pet and then got rid of it.
But
Like-
then why? Who's making all these cat restaurants for humans?
Maybe
The
this is
successful
a
business
world-
cats.
Maybe there's so many cats that people.
Maybe
eat
it's the cats
now.
who have
Is
gone
this
to the
Elf
Heaviside
world?
layer.
Is this Melmac?
What if it is all the successful cats who have made it to the Heaviside layer?
Well, then
Well, then why are they?
Oh, they're the ones who
Send
made
it.
these cat. They came back and made cat businesses.
Because that's part of their new life is as successful.
When the balloon lands, they always have a business idea.
They became a person. Do you think maybe
When the balloon lands, they're a human with a cat-themed business idea.
maybe this is maybe they go to the
I mean, I'm in it. I'm here.
That's pretty good. I like that. We're going to say that. I was also saying maybe this is a world where every single person has toxoplasmosis, which is that
That's
parasite.
less fun.
Yeah, I think I like your idea better. I just really wanted to say mine because it feels bad to not say things as a white male
with a microphone.
with a microphone. Like it feels bad to not say the things that I'm thinking, and so I need to say them, even though they're not as good as the things that you said.
Oh, okay.
So the Heaviside layer is business school and human metamorphosis.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so all humans were cats.
All humans were cats at one point.
Now, what about? There's no babies, right? It's just people like, oh yeah, humans come out of the sky. That's the world we're in.
Where do babies come from?
No,
stork.
there are no babies.
Oh, no, that's the stork, man. So, because there's a stork who goes up there and he's like, hey, cats, are you...
And he brings down the balloons because it's all hot air balloons.
He brings
and
down the balloons.
He
and,
brings
okay,
down the reincarnated.
th-
Yeah,
maybe they do reincarnate as babies, and then when they eventually grow up and they retain their cat business idea knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Much like
Like when they're a child, they're like drawing crayon pictures of it.
it's like Baby Geniuses and Boss Baby put together.
Yeah. They're smart when they're babies, and then they forget it, and then they can remember again.
And then they can remember only the business parts. The only thing they can remember is, I must cater to cats. I must make these cat things. And they make, and then they do that. Okay. And then, so it's very unclear what year it is in this movie, because it seems like it could be the 20s or it could be.
It's very
like,
anachronistic.
Yeah. So I don't know if we care to make it any particular time, or if we want like far future for ours, because that could be.
What if we did like cavemen times?
But they've still
like
got
10,000 BC.
10,000 BC. But the cats are still living in regular buildings.
And then also nothing from the movie 10,000 BC.
But so like
Forgot about that
the first Jellicle cat comes up with the idea of businesses and
What if there's an ancient war
Commerce.
between Jellicles and the Forgotten Tribes?
there's more tribes.
That's very
Because
good.
Jellicles are the business cats.
Jellicles are the business cats. Okay.
And they've won. Well, they won in the olden times.
Yeah, because capitalism always wins.
Ah, okay.
This can be kind
Guys,
of
do you
an
think- do you think
industrialist critique.
Do you think this quarantine is doing anything to us?
No, I'm fine. I think we're
Okay.
This is Grisabella the Glamour Cat. This is the poem that made Andrew Lloyd Webber decide, yes, this has to be a musical. This is also the poem that T.S. Eliot said was too sad to be in his original collection. Remark the cat who hesitates towards you in the light of the door which opens on her like a grin. You see the border of her coat is torn and stained with sand, and you see the corner of her eye is twist like a crooked pin. She haunted many a low resort near the grimy road of Tottenham Court. She flitted about the no man's land from the rising sun to the friend at hand. And the postman sighed as he scratched his head. You merely have thought she ought to be dead. And who would ever suppose that cat was Grisabella the Glamour Cat? Grisabella the Glamour Cat, Grisabella the Glamour Cat. Who would ever suppose that cat was Grisabella the Glamour Cat? That's it. The poem is...
Listen, we all fall on hard times.
The poem is, look at how shitty this cat looks.
This cat used to look good.
This cat apparently used to look good, because I guess that's what a glamour cat is. Like, they don't even... What's a glamour cat?
Like a David Bowie cat.
Grisabella in the movie doesn't look nearly this shitty. They really did not
she does,
lean
though.
in.
Her face is covered in snot.
That's
hey,
true. She's
going back to the
always
previous
snotting.
segment, I'm going to get rid of Jennifer Hudson's snot face.
I'm surprised they didn't CG out her snot. So, Frank, she's always crying as she's singing. And just instantly, like, they just turn on, like, faucets. Just snot right out her nose.
No.
It's very weird.
All
No,
of the dancers,
thank
all of the
you.
professionally trained dancers are like slinking away like cats on their hands and feet. Jennifer Hudson just kind of
She's just walking around.
Shuffles
She does crawl.
off.
At one point, she does crawl away on all fours, like a person crawling away on all fours, not at all making an effort to try to be a cat. Okay, so setting is 10,000. We're doing 10,000 BC Cat Wars.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk characters and casting in our next segment called "Who Can It Be?"
Can it be now?
Obviously, Dylan and Cole are going to be the twins, Rum Tum Tugger and Mungo Jerry. Nope, Rumple Teaser and Mungo Jerry. Those are the thief twins.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Other
they
than
commit
that, though, like
cat
I think
crimes.
we keep everybody else in all the same characters, right? But just transplant them back to 10,000 BC.
So these
So,
cats.
like-
So that begs the question: does that mean every cat who doesn't ascend into the sky is immortal? This is them choosing to die and become human.
I think they kind of live like a fevered forever existence until they ascend. Like they don't really know what time. Like day to day is kind of like nothing to them.
Right.
Like they're not aware of like any kind of enlightenment from living forever. They're just kind of like trapped in this unending cycle.
Right.
And
okay.
Old Deuteronomy is the Jesus one?
Yeah, but I don't know that works though, because Old Deuteronomy doesn't do any Jesus stuff. Old Deuteronomy just says, "Yeah, you get to die." Old Deuteronomy doesn't say, "I'm gonna die for you."
Wait, there's not a vote? Like they just all sing
No.
a song and then she picks?
Mm-hmm. It's not a democracy.
And here's the thing. She's not even there for most of their performances. She's only there for 2 of their performances. The rest of them, she's not even there for, and she still is the one who gets to decide. Here's the thing about Bustopher Jones, though. He's not skin and bones. He's remarkably fat. So...
He's a chunky kitty.
He's so big. But then at one point, they imply that he hasn't eaten in a really long time, and that's how McCavity tricks him into going down a Mario pipe and coming out on the River Thames. But so you want to keep... I don't want to keep James Corden or Rebel Wilson in this, though, because I don't like them.
That's fine.
Who would be a better...
They just got booted.
Hugh Jackman is Bustopher Jones.
Oh, shit, yes. But he's still fat. He's still wearing a fat
I'm
cat
amazed
suit.
that he wasn't already in the film. He wasn't?
No, you'd think he
No,
should
he
have been.
wasn't.
He's a big show. He's the greatest showman.
It's true. Okay, so he's the fat cat who eats. But so then, who's our new Gumby cat who, as we all know, sits
Just Gumby from the cartoon. I don't care.
with cat CG on it?
Yes, no, I don't know. You got me.
I think.
What is
Who's just
Melissa McCarthy?
knowing Okay, I think she'd bring a better energy to it for sure.
You know Gumby's from the 50s, by the way?
Yeah, dude, Gumby's real old.
What even is Gumby's deal?
He goes into books and he
But
like
why does he
relives
look
history.
this way?
Well, somebody. I don't know.
It was the 50s. What people
do you
were
want
just
him to
like
look
doing
like?
whatever.
What do you want Gumby to look like?
I don't know.
He's a
I'm pretty
boy
sure
made
in
of
the
clay.
50s they thought ugly things were like fun, I think. And then
Gumby's not ugly.
they just
Gumby
kind
looks
of
fine.
Well, no, but like have you seen Howdy Doody?
Well, that's true.
And so they were just I think they just kind of like slapped a bunch of clay down. And then somebody was like, "Oh, there's eyes." And
I see it, yeah.
And now there's Gumby.
And he teaches you about history and stuff because he goes into history books and he gets shot at by Indians and pilgrims. So no more casting. We're done. Judi Dench, Idris Elba still in it. Taylor Swift still in it.
Oh yeah, no, keep everybody.
Taylor Swift
except James Corden and
Taylor
Rebel Wilson.
Swift sings the song about Idris Elba, and I'm 99% sure it's because Idris Elba can't sing. But I have no proof. Although he tries a little bit, but he kind of just shouts. So we'll just move on to the plot section. This is our final segment called "What's Going On." And so, we need. What are the other tribes that? So why are there no tribes today? That's what this movie's about. How the Jellicles killed everyone else.
Their rise to power.
The Jellicles.
I don't know about killed. I just think that they have the street. Like they own the street.
They own the street. So at 10,000 BC, what's this street look like? It's the same
Dirt.
street.
It's dirt, but it's made of like
dirt.
huts.
Yeah, and instead of like the puns are like pictograph based.
Uh-huh.
Like it's
You thinking like Pharaoh time? When Egypt wasn't 10,000 BC, right? That's after. That's pretty far after.
Yeah, 10,000 BC was pretty much just cavemen, saber-toothed tigers,
Oh.
whatever else was in that movie.
So are we going to CG big old saber-tooth teeth onto these people? Or are we going to make them wear a prosthetic and all have to sing and talk through it?
That's a good. I kind of like the idea of actors having to act through big vampire
Ian
teeth.
McKellen's just got those things, like he's just got these big teeth just shoved out of his mouth. Okay.
All right. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's weird when the cats hiss at each other too, because we all knew that person in high school who actually hissed at people because they thought it was like.
You had an interesting high school.
I feel like we all knew this person. None of you knew a girl who hissed at people.
That is true. I did know a girl who
I was
hissed at
aware of
people.
like the concept that people reportedly existed.
Well, Rebecca just said she did, so that you're the weird one now.
Oh, geez. Okay. Jeez.
You didn't know any of the goth kids in your school?
Oh, it was always the goth kids or
I guess
the
they
theater
were
kids.
more like too touchy feely and like always giving each other shoulder massages.
Yes,
Oh
that is
my
these
God.
cats.
Ugh,
That is these
yes.
cats. That is exactly this
Exactly.
movie. Is all of those people. This production was made for them. Andrew Lloyd Webber said, "I need people to be cats," and they're all like, "Hello."
I had a vision of 150 years from now.
Yeah.
Theater kids, let's be real.
Right. Okay.
Hmm?
So, ugh. I mean, they're all theater kids, is the thing. All actors pretty much were theater kids at one
Because
point.
that's the thing, man. Like, even, like, Vin Diesel was a theater kid, right?
Right. He was...
Like, they're all theater kids. Sly Stallone was a theater kid.
Right.
Hmm.
So, in 10,000 BC, they've all got big teeth. And what other tribes are there? And I feel like we got to come up with good tribe names on par with Jellicle.
Oh.
So maybe like...
So much like just regular cats' names, you kind of just have to slap syllables together.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. And so... And it would be fun to do a speed round where we just get to come up with new cats' names as well. Because I think the bar's lower.
The wet pats.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
Wet Pats
dude,
makes
that's
a cat tribe
evocative.
for sure. The Squimbos.
Banana gerbos.
The
Tuna.
Grump.
Finish. No one talk. Finish.
Grump Tilly.
You get one more try.
This last one is it. You got to make it a good one.
Grump Doodles.
There we
All
go.
It's Tuna Boys.
The Kaiser Sose's.
Okay, we both kind of did the same thing there.
Did we? You think the Tuna Boys and the Kaiser Sose's are the same
Yeah.
thing?
I mean,
Tuna
it's about sending a message.
The Tuna Boys sound like a 50s street gang of
They're the
cats.
greasers for sure. They're the greasers of cats. Do you think each of
So
them
they- and
always
they-
has a tuna, like just a full tuna? Like,
Well, but it's like a cartoon one where like it's still like got the scales, but it's for some reason very convenient and portable.
It's
Like,
living.
it's not like a stinky fish.
yeah,
Like,
and they use it to
and
hit
it's also
people with.
like real tunas are like 80 pounds.
Mhm.
Like
It's a living.
It's a living.
right. It's like Flintstones. Like the tuna looks in the camera and says like, "What are you gonna do?"
Something smells fishy.
And it shrugs.
All of
You can
us.
figure out how to make a cartoon tuna shrug without arms,
They've got fins. You can do it with little fins.
shrug without shoulders.
Yeah, you could make it work. They've got they use tunas as like their shivs, as their switchblades.
And then they also comb their hair with them.
Yes.
And they do like a lot of fish puns, like let's tip the scales in our direction.
Yeah.
And they all like way overly acknowledge each other's puns that
Yeah.
like ruin the joke.
Uh huh.
like yeah, you got him. Like,
Because he's got scales.
Right. Okay. And
and then
then
the tuna looks in the camera and he says like, "Scale me."
and so then what are the wet pats like?
They are the cats that actually like water, and so you can find them flipping about in
Oh,
the
shit.
ponds and the
Mm.
rivers. Just regular splashy boys.
You know this sound that wet food makes when you like splorch it into a plate?
Uh huh.
It's like that.
Wet pat. That's a wet pat.
Lark.
They like
Okay. And then your grump doodles are like they're the
They're the grumpy cats.
They just look so
They're
rough.
all grumpy cats.
Yeah.
We need a tribe that talks like the parents in Peanuts.
The womp womps.
Okay, the womp womps. That's what they're
good.
called. They're called the womp womps.
And they have an entire song, but it's just the word womp.
Wah, wah, wah,
Very
wah,
emotional.
wah.
very emotional. They're all sobbing throughout the whole thing. And then there's buttholes everywhere while they're fighting. So then what is
On all of them.
do we learn the origin of cat magic here?
No.
No, they just all have cat magic.
Yeah. But since time immemorial.
Okay. So there's a lot of teleport fights. And so that's the thing about Mr. Mistopheles. Most of his magic, aside from the one time he does real magic, he's just doing like
Card tricks.
yeah, he's doing close up like he's pulling fake flowers out of a hat or making cards. He
Okay.
does
like
make things
squirting water
levitate
out
at
of the
end.
flower in his lapel, juggling
Exactly.
bowling balls.
That's all he ever does. And then at the end, he makes things levitate after he does teleport old Deuteronomy back.
Probably does
When
a
he gives
couple
into the dark
cartwheels.
magic.
When he gives into the dark magic.
Does he do a lot of Three Stooges noises?
No, none.
Because I think we can amp that up a little bit.
Based on his song and the weird like amount of hype that he's gotten in pop culture, at least from people that I knew before I saw this movie, I thought he was going to be very cool, and he's kind of just like a whiny bitch boy the whole movie until he learns to do real magic.
Oh yeah,
and then
no,
still,
he's
like, a money bitch
he's
boy.
the nice guy. He's the one who like befriends the new
That's
girl
true.
Victoria.
He is the nice guy, and then they nuzzle heads real hard at the end. So I think they're fucking.
They just really get in there.
Yeah. So I think it's
Hard
implied that they're
nuzzles.
fucking.
Yeah, dude. It's about hard nuzzles.
Yeah.
And so it's all the same cats in 10,000 BC, but instead, so then,
But it's all there. They don't have the baggage of all these years yet. They're
so then one of the cats.
hopeful.
So who discovers the Heaviside
McCavity
layer?
hasn't even committed every crime yet.
That's true. He's only
So I feel
committed
like-
some crimes.
Old Deuteronomy should be the one who has discovered the Heaviside layer, and that's why she picks
So she's the
who
science
goes.
cat. Is she the science cat? She's got like
She's
a
not the
telescope.
science cat. She's not the science cat. She is the one who has the biggest personality and is the most convincing to get these people to join her cult.
But the Heaviside layer is real. It's not really a cult if it's like real what she's offering them.
Well, so like
Because we already
Jim
established
Jones,
that that's
or
what
like
turns...
the Heaven's Gate people. The Heaven's Gate people thought that was real.
Yeah, but we established in our universe that the Heaviside layer is where cats become humans, and that's where humans come from. Like in our universe, the Heaviside layer is a real thing where you get a new life.
But like Heaven's Gate people, they knew like the comet was a real,
That's true.
and we knew that.
That's true, but the comment also...
It's everything else that comes with it that they were not so sure about.
But I'm saying that we are the creators of this universe, and we're saying that that is real. But you're telling me that maybe it's not real after all, and they...
What
or
if
maybe...
okay?
Well,
what if
we know
see
what
it-
happens once the balloon goes into the sky and comes down, but Old Deuteronomy doesn't.
Or maybe she does. Okay. So here's maybe...
Maybe she left the room once and there was a cat in the room, but then when she came back, there was a baby in the room instead.
Or what if she knows? And here's the thing: cats, you don't want to become a human if you're a cat. You don't want that, but because you come
But
back,
think of all the businesses you could open.
because you come back business obsessed with cats. Old Deuteronomy's like, we need more of these dumb bitches to be making us bars and stuff, and so. All the
Yeah,
other...
so what if she's like, this cat has a real knack for grocery shopping.
Right.
So we're going to send this cat up into the sky, and when he comes back, we're going to have grocery stores as far as the eye can
But
see.
the to the general populace, they think they're just going to heaven and for a new life. They don't know that they're being forced to return as a mortal human who lives in service of cats. It's a worse life, actually.
The
for a cat.
Egyptians, I think the Egyptians were onto something.
Yeah, the Egyptians were just like, maybe the Egyptians were the first ones. Maybe we don't go 10,000 BC. Maybe we just go like Egypt. Well, no, because there
So
were
people-
humans before Egypt.
Yeah, well, there were humans before 10,000 BC too.
There were?
I saw that movie.
Yeah,
When did humans first show up?
I think we've been around for something like 200,000
Like at least 11 years.
Apparently...
Like modern humans, like us.
Apparently, at least almost 1 million. No, like 500,000.
Well, well, there's like the whole
Homo
Like various
erectus,
kinds of cavemen that
500,000. Okay, yeah, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Erectus.
Eh,
So, Old Deuteronomy's tricking people. What is this going to be one of those stories where we reveal that like McCavity? Well, no, because he really wants it. He buys in. He's just more evil than the rest.
Maybe he just really wants it so he can disprove old Deuteronomy. Like maybe he's onto her shit.
Maybe he's onto her shit, because that's the thing. Because if he was really like she would just if he was buying in, she would totally just send him, because he'd be out of the way. She'd be like, yeah, man, you can go ahead, go become a human.
Yeah, but then she runs the risk of when he comes back as a person, like totally blowing up her spot.
But when you come back as a person, you don't remember any of the cat stuff. All you remember is that I gotta make shit for
But
cats.
maybe he does.
That's the thing. Maybe that's what he's his magic. He's learned how to retain the knowledge. And so she's like, I'm never choosing you. And he's like, well, I'm a bad cat. But actually, he's a good cat. We're doing one of those
Like this
stories.
dark magic gave me the power to choose who goes to the Heaviside layer, and because you also have the dark magic, like you can't give my secrets away.
So that raises some fun questions for the future, in which now that Mr. Mistopheles has started down the dark magic path, she's going to have to take care of him at some point.
Oh, the cat's averse.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a whole Catsiverse. Okay, so then cat magic is already a thing. And so is it just like she convinces... So they just use... So the Jellicle cats are basically the Catholic Church is what I'm hearing. And they just eradicate they just control all other. They get so much power, and then all the other tribes just become Jellicles. Like, is there only one tribe, or it's just we don't care about any more tribes?
I think it's kind of a submit or like. There's probably feral cats that don't live on the street.
The capital T, capital S, because feral cats live on the street. Right. Okay. Yeah.
But there's the outside world that's like not that doesn't have good shops.
So at first, the Jellicles in our movie, they're just gonna be like this fringe movement, and it's like, look how far they go, because by the time of it, cats, it's like cats want to get on the street and become Jellicles. Like everybody wants it bad. It's weird that they only send one cat a year to become human, though. I guess they gotta slow it down.
Well, do they say it's 1 year? Do we say that?
It's 1 a year.
Okay.
Not that it matters.
Not that it matters. Maybe it's just like,
Well, it's a cat year.
Maybe some
What's
humans.
a cat year?
I mean, humans can still make other humans, which
Old
cats
Deuteronomy
don't
did
keep
not calendars
expect.
or time. I bet you that a cat year is whenever they feel like it.
That's true. That's probably like every other day. She's just like, all right, it's been a year, and they're like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
only 2 moons have passed.
Or like, the first person that's like, I don't know, has it been a year yet? I don't know. Sure, why not?
Let's do talk about the Jellicle moon a lot, but they never explain what that is. So that's got to have something to do with their.
Maybe that's the source of all the dark magic.
Maybe that's like a food that they also eat.
Well, they often look at the moon when they say it. So it seems like it's related to their weird ritual.
Moon. Well, maybe the moon is made of like cat food or tuna
or cheese.
In the McCavity song, they say he's the bafflement of Scotland Yard, which means there are human police trying to catch this cat. Okay, he's broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity, so he can fucking fly. Powers of levitation.
He breaks laws both human and metaphysical.
Human and natural. Like, he's a ginger cat, not in the movie, but he is in the song, even though he's clearly not in the movie. His head is highly domed, I guess for his big brain. He seems cool. He's got movements like a snake. And when you think he's asleep, he's always actually awake. He seems
so he's cool. Santa?
But also he's a monster of depravity. So, he's doing all of it. I just want to know, we need our big, what does it look like when all these tribes fight? Like, how does Old Deuteronomy beat all the other tribes?
With the biggest explosion of dark magic we have ever seen.
Yeah, dude. We're talking like the CGI that a studio pumps out when they think the movie is gonna fail, and so they put like twice as much money into the CGI as anything else.
Right. So we're just gonna do one of those big old fights with like thousands
we're talking
of
like
CG
Battle
cats.
of 5 armies,
just tons of CG cats teleporting around, levitating.
My leg. One of those.
Okay, cool. I think we did it for the plot.
I just thought about him naked again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The best thing about Skimbleshanks is that he's a cat who I think he lives on a train.
Did you make that one up or is that one real?
No, he's the railway cat. Skimbleshanks the railway cat.
You guys could have been saying made up names this entire time, by the way, and I would not have known.
He is a cat. He's the railway cat, which I think he lives on a train. And here's the thing: so
trains exist.
The train won't leave without him. In this, they established that in the song. It's like the conductor and all the people on the train are like, "Where the fuck is Skimble? We gotta go, but we can't go without him."
Okay.
He says at 11:42 with the signal overdue, the passengers all frantic to a man. I'm sorry, I'm getting really choked up. The passengers are all frantic to a man. That's when I would appear and I'd saunter to the rear. I'd been busy in the luggage van. Busy doing what, Skimble?
Tracking down mice.
Frank, how many so I just remembered that we turned off the smooth. We toggled butthole. Mm-hmm. And that just paints that
smooth turned up to butthole.
That
throughout the film, there's gonna be just like people will walk in front of the camera, and there's gonna be butthole, or like the camera will pan, and like the end of the shot is just some butthole.
Just think of the giant battle in context of turning up the butthole. It's
just a lot of donut rings.
The other thing that I like about this is we did say they got to stop moving like weirdos and they just have to walk regular. So there's going to be a bunch of cat people walking around like it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Changing size and shape and teleporting around. Okay. So let's get into our final secret segment where we talk about what are we eating and what are we drinking during cat time.
What's like a milk-based Mountain Dew?
They do have whiteout, which is white, but you're not supposed to give cats milk. Are we going to let that keep going? Is that responsible?
I mean, it's part of the stereotype.
Yeah, but stereotypes are often
What
wrong.
if here so we'll still use milk for the shots, but we'll just say it's tuna water.
Ew.
Ooh.
Okay.
First of all, cats
some
love
of that
tuna
warm
water.
tuna
No, you're
water.
right.
So-
I was thinking about
cats-
it as a person and
cats-
not as a cat. You're right.
Yeah.
Frank. And so
Cats
you're drinking
go
Mountain Dew
fucking
Whiteout.
bananas for tuna water.
There is a scene, Frank, where
Bananas for tuna water.
in order, I think this is when McCavity first shows up to be chosen to the choosing. Like Taylor Swift comes in and she just doses everybody with catnip for some reason to just make them all trip. But because of the people playing this, it becomes very sexual and they all look like they're coming.
Ugh.
It's very unsettling. But so there's a lot of drugs that we didn't even get into. But we could add that in our, is there like a human food equivalent of catnip?
Cheetos.
Are you talking about the marijuana?
Oh yeah, we could just have them have them
do the doobies.
have them.
I see you guys just totally skipped right on over my Cheetos.
Oh, Cheetos is
What?
Have
Cheetos
you
is
had
like catnip?
Cheetos?
They're like
Have you
catnip.
Have I
had
had
them?
Cheetos?
Yeah, I was eating
They're
them last night.
addicting. And I go wild.
If you eat enough spicy ones, it makes
I just have to make sure that's the joke you wanted to make. Like,
I go buck wild on them.
Have you had those cone limon, those lime Cheetos?
No.
Limon is lemon.
It's Cheetos. Well, it's Cheetos cone limon.
But limon
So with
means
lemon?
lemon. That's lemon in Spanish.
It does not.
With lime?
Yeah, limon.
Yeah, they have lime in the dust.
Yeah, so con limon.
Yeah,
so,
but
with
limon
lime.
means lemon.
And con means with.
But
That means
Yeah.
with lemon.
So here's the thing, and I'm gonna assume it's got the like accent over the O, which apparently means either. I don't know.
No, it means
Here's the thing.
lemon. Oh wait,
I'm gonna assume that the international company Frito-Lay used someone who spoke Spanish. Like,
Don't worry, I'm Googling
I'm
it.
just gonna guess.
I'm also googling it too.
Limon cheese. Oh, I don't know that I like that.
Because okay, hang on. English to Spanish. So
It's a lime.
Lemon is limon, but lime.
But then why is he squeezing a lime?
But
Right,
so
and it's written
I don't
in
doubt
green.
that the flavor of Cheeto is lime. I'm saying they used the wrong fucking Spanish word because lime in Spanish is lima.
Hey, also, Cheetos, because there's a cat on it?
Because it's a cheetah.
A cheetah's a
It's
kind of
cheetah.
cat. Right?
I'd say so.
Okay, I mean they are cats.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Do we do anything else in
So
the show?
we're not. There's no weed.
So
I mean, you
it's-
can't really eat it. I mean, you can.
you can put it in
It's-
things that you eat.
well,
but
first
are
of all,
we
you
really
can-
going to expect
right?
are we going to ask our listeners to do a whole to bake stuff? That's never.
No,
been
you can
us.
just
How
buy
about
that stuff.
get
That's
some
true.
Cheetos cone limon and then call Frito-Lay and explain to them
They use
that
the wrong
limon is
fucking word.
limes.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And then get it done.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So that's going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. We love you very much. And if you love us, give us that good rating and review on Apple Podcasts because that helps so much. For real. That's like the best way to help us.
Or send us money.
Or send us money, but like I don't really want to give you my personal info, but you can like DM us on Twitter, I guess, and then we'll figure out how you can send me some money. If you know anybody who you think would like the show, just send it to them too. That also helps. And then get them to write us a rating and review. Thank you so much for the Hello Sweetie Podcast Network for having us. There's a ton of other good shows there you should check out, like The Nighthawks or Geek Parenting or Petticoat Lane. Until next time, I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Sarah.
I'm Jenny Anydots.
That's not true. But so, Frank and Rebecca, what is a password for our listeners to get in next week?
Squirm blump.
Come, Judah.
Push My Buttons podcast, you can get all the gaming news, information on latest releases, game reviews, and you can even watch us play some of your favorite games. Everything from Sonic the Hedgehog to God of War on YouTube and Twitch. Follow us on all the social media and listen on all your favorite apps. Just search for Push My Buttons podcast.